The judge dismissed it and said there's no case here.
It really is an impactful and powerful piece of evidence that's going to go against Lively.
Blake Lively, if they find that she just was dishonest and lied on one single point of evidence in this case, in her testimony, the jury instruction says that they are allowed to discount her entire testimony.
What if the star you always believed to be Hollywood's shining sweetheart turned out to be the architect of her own chaos? That's exactly the kind of twist playing out with Blake Lively right now, and it's as riveting as any scripted drama she's ever headlined.
So her testimony is super important in this case, and if you can show the jury that she's lied, juries don't like liars.
For years, she built an image so flawless you'd think no scandal could ever touch her. Yet here we are, watching her meticulously crafted persona collapse under the weight of a lawsuit she never saw coming.
She wants different rules for her than she wants for Baldoni and his team, which I don't think the judge will agree with.
And if you thought this was just a minor bump in her perfect life, well, buckle up. From courtroom humiliations to red carpet disasters, Blake is discovering that the Hollywood machine is only as loyal as its next big success. But if you think the shock factor ends here, get ready. This downfall has only just begun.
Trials are about the truth, and juries want the truth, and if you lie to them, they will hold it against you.
When rumors first emerged of a legal showdown between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, most people laughed it off. After all, Lively had always seemed untouchable, polished, graceful, practically a Hollywood golden girl. But then those whispers solidified into a full-blown lawsuit, the real punch in the gut, a judge's ruling that sent Lively's defense into free fall. You could almost hear her PR team scrambling to spin the narrative.
Blake Lively's PR firm begging to be let go of the case. I think actually they may have the worst messages of all.
Suddenly, that perfect glow began to crack. Inconsistencies in her statements raised eyebrows. Online speculation lit up like wildfire. If she was lying about one thing, how far did the lies go? Fans were stunned, tabloids had a field day, and everyone was asking, how could Blake Lively's carefully managed public image unravel so fast? Turns out the courtroom drama was just the tip of the iceberg, because her public image didn't stand a chance once the rumor mill kicked into high gear.
And if I were her attorney, I'd want to get out of this case before she has to sit for deposition, not just because it might be bad for the case, but PR-wise, it's not going to be good.
If you follow Blake Lively on social media, you know she's brilliant at presenting a perfect life. The polished marriage, the glamorous photo ops, the clever jokes. But when the Justin Baldoni lawsuit took a turn against her, things got desperate. Rumor has it she brought in a supercharged PR team, possibly tied to former intelligence officials, to rescue her crumbling reputation. Yet the more she tried to manage the optics, the less the public believed her. Hashtags claiming Blakely started trending. Her follower count took a dive. Influencers dissected every misstep in her public statements, and fans began to suspect that underneath the charm was someone meticulously trying to manipulate the story. The harder she pushed, the harder the backlash hit. And once social media turned on her, the floodgates opened, unleashing a torrent of criticism unlike anything Hollywood's seen in a long time.
Every expert's going to skew it towards their view of the case. And then the penultimate question to the expert is, but you agree with me, the jury is able to determine for themselves what this video is showing.
As the court drama raged on, the online sphere erupted into nonstop commentary. Entertainment shows and gossip sites dissected Blake's moves, while armchair experts tore into her every word. It was more than just a wave of negativity. It felt like the entire internet was intent on exposing her. No one could deny the raw data. Thousands of unfollows, countless mocking tweets, and a plummeting approval rating from audiences who once adored her. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni's platform surged as people rushed to hear his side of the story. It was a complete reversal of fortunes. For every fan Blake lost, Baldoni seemed to gain too. But the real spectacle was about to unfold on the red carpet, where a single protest sign would rattle Blake Lively in front of the entire world.
Because jurors are very bright, especially collectively. When they're all together, they all come from varied backgrounds. They're the smartest people in the room collectively, and they generally get the right result. So the experts here are going to be important, but ultimately this video is damning, and I think you're right to say, or I was right to say, this is some of the most damning evidence in this case.
At South by Southwest, most stars show up to celebrate their latest project and soak up the spotlight. But for Blake Lively, this event turned into an unplanned reality check. She arrived looking poised, flashing that trademark smile as if none of the backlash existed. Cameras clicked, reporters hovered, and on the surface, it seemed business as usual, until someone hoisted a sign declaring, "Justice for Justin Baldoni." Blake lied. For a split second, Lively's confident demeanor cracked, and the cameras caught every frame. The moment went viral before the night was even over. Entertainment headlines screamed things like, "Protester calls out Blake Lively," and "Hollywood's darling no more." If she wanted to prove she was still in control, this protest sign shattered that illusion in record time. Yet even that public embarrassment paled in comparison to the ice-cold reception from a co-star fans never expected to see turn her back.
I think that's part of the PR battle. From a legal perspective, there would be no reason to put a statement by an expert in your complaint. It won't be shown to the jury. When you do go to trial, each side is going to have experts that they hire. Everybody has hired experts, and really experts are just hired guns.
One of the biggest draws for fans was seeing Blake Lively reunite with Anna Kendrick. After all, their dynamic in A Simple Favor was a highlight. But this time around, every interaction was dripping with tension. Anna barely spoke to Blake. Photos show her standing at a deliberate distance, arms folded, face blank. When asked about teaming up again, Anna's terse reply said more than enough. Social media detectives picked it apart with a fine-tooth comb, concluding that Anna wanted nothing to do with the controversy swirling around Blake. The press tried to mask the awkwardness, but it was painfully obvious. Two stars who should have been gushing about their new project instead looked like strangers forced to share a stage. And as the chill between Lively and Kendrick went viral, Hollywood started doing what it does best, closing ranks against the star who'd fallen out of favor.
Because it's pointless. This is only for public consumption.
Right.
And it's only to try to take back the narrative that Baldoni's team has done a very good job of. And perhaps the reason they've done such a good job on the Baldoni's team is because they have more truth on their side than perhaps Blake Lively does.
In the entertainment industry, reputation is currency. For years, Blake Lively's been a bankable name, a reliable draw for studios who saw her as glamorous and drama-free. Now, with each scandalous headline, that once shiny reputation is corroding. Insiders are whispering that her upcoming projects are in jeopardy, that producers are hesitating to sign her for fear of toxic press. Even more revealing, the behind-the-scenes rumors that paint Blake as a control freak who overrules directors and hijacks scripts. Before this lawsuit, she had enough star power to keep those stories under wraps. Now, they're bubbling into the public eye, and execs are distancing themselves fast. It's not personal, it's money, and Blake, once a safe bet, is looking riskier by the day. But the most jaw-dropping revelations go beyond the studios and stretch into the realm of secretive PR strategies, and a personality more domineering than anyone realized. Anyone who's tried to shield a superstar's reputation knows it's a delicate balancing act. But Blake Lively's team seems to have gone to extreme lengths to keep her on top. Think clandestine crisis managers, hush-hush media buys, even rumors of intelligence-level PR tactics. When the lawsuit cracked her pristine facade, these tactics blew up in her face, turning a problem into a full-on PR inferno. Old allegations resurfaced. Blake's alleged habit of taking over creative control, overshadowing co-stars, and demanding final say on anything with her name attached. For a while, her success buried these complaints. Now they're front-page discussion. Every new account that emerges adds weight to the growing chorus. Maybe that perfect star was never so perfect after all. And as more people step forward to spill industry secrets, it's becoming clear that the lawsuit is just the beginning of a much bigger reckoning. What's most shocking is how fast Blake Lively has gone from golden girl to pariah. Not long ago, she was a red carpet fixture, someone brands fell over themselves to partner with. Today, she's the celebrity tabloids can't stop roasting. Her claims of innocence sound hollow against the barrage of lawsuits, canceled deals, and viral takedowns. Some are even calling this moment a turning point, opening the door for fresh accusations about manipulative power moves in Hollywood. Moves people used to ignore when they came from an A-lister. If that's the case, Blake might be in for a longer and more brutal downfall than anyone predicted. After everything we've seen, from courtroom chaos to torpedoed friendships, the real question is, can Blake Lively salvage her career? Or are we watching the final act of a star burning out? In just a few short months, Blake Lively's polished image has been hammered by damning rulings, public protests, and icy receptions from peers who once boosted her brand. She's tried to spin this drama into something manageable, but the audience and industry alike seem done playing along. The meltdown is everywhere, in the tabloids, on social media, and even on the red carpet. So, is there a path to redemption? Possibly, but it would require a seismic shift in how Blake presents herself to the world, and that's something no PR strategy can fake. For now, we're left with one undeniable truth. The Hollywood machine that once championed her is more than willing to move on without her. If you thought this saga reached its peak, buckle up, because if history teaches us anything, the final twists are usually the ones no one sees coming.